door, so he let Allen go right by. If they contest each other, they slow each other down.
Putting a lap on Ernie Irvan going into turn 1. Into the back straightaway. Alan Kowicki now 4th. Ricky Rudd is 3rd. Rudd is in 3rd. Terry Labonte 2nd. And Davey Allison is leading the way here at Richmond with 173 laps complete.
You know, there's been a lot of rumors on Alan Kowicki. He's the guy, one of the hot properties in the sport, and all sorts of teams are wanting Alan Kowicki to drive their car. It appears to me that Alan Kowicki is going to stay right where he is, probably start his own engine program. Xerox will continue to be his sponsor, and I think that's a smart decision on his part. He's coming along just at the right speed. He wants to come along, and he doesn't want to put too much pressure on himself because he knows he has a long career here.
He sure does. He's a fine engineer. Here's one who reminds you a bit of Elliott's. Very intense.
Absolutely. If I had to compare them driving style, they both work on their cars. They're both intelligent, hard-working people, and they're both not physical on a racetrack. They drive the racetrack very smart, pick it out, but they don't lean on you and bang you unless it's absolutely necessary toward the end.
Which is always necessary.
Yeah, necessary at the end.
Well, Susie Runnion's down here talking with some of the folks. Some of the sold-out 53,000 seats are housing some people that she's with right now.
You know what, guys? I think I've discovered who's really making out with this new track. It's the vendors. They love all these new fans that are here today because they're selling out all their stuff. It's Nancy. She's been here a number of years. And Nancy, how's business going today?
No good. No good.
Have you found any difference from last year to this year when you're here selling?
Yeah, doing better than we did, yeah. With all the fans, yeah, a lot more fans.
Well, the question I have is how in the world did you get such a great spot? You're right here at the edge of the grandstand and you got a view of the racetrack.
I don't know. My boss just put me here.
Yeah, the last thing is I don't suppose you can blow me alone, could you? Okay, let's go back upstairs, yes?
You know how many people pay $20 for selling stuff there instead of him paying them?
I love it. I tell you, I was thinking about that Richard Childress interview a few minutes ago. He's having an open house on October 29th at his race shop, and they've got one of the greatest deals going. They're going to have a Dunk Dale Earnhardt contest.
Got a good battle for second going here, John. Look at Ricky Rudd scramble to the inside. He is nose long, and all of a sudden, car number 11, Terry Labonte, is back there struggling. Remember that Ricky Rudd nearly won this race. That last lap, or last 2 or 3 lap incident out of turn number 2. Here he is challenging Terry Labonte another time.
And you know, tomorrow is Ricky Rudd's birthday, and I have this expert analyst beside of me, Mr. John Cooper, who told me and wrote on a note about 15 minutes ago, Rudd, with an exclamation point. So there are people that know what they're doing, and I'm not one of them.
Well, a lot of people have been saying Rudd all week long. That he considered this home territory, that he really wanted to perform well. They put a little extra work into their effort this past week, getting this thing really ready to go. And, of course, they have a big secret weapon in Bob Riley, who is now working to set that car up for the Kenny Bernstein team.
I'll add to that a vote from the last fan that I talked to when we crossed over to come over here to the STP Pit Communications Center. He said, boy, sure like to see the races on TBS Sports. Glad you guys are here today. Can't wait to get home to watch it on the VCR. And I'll tell you what, Ricky Rudd's going to win it. I think the key, if Rudd wins it, is exactly the one you mentioned, and that's Bob Riley. Back in the days when Junior Johnson, the guy who just number 11 together with Terry Labonte, started, you didn't have team engineers, but that team has an engineer for car 26, and he's a genius. And they've really got it working here today. And
he's one of the nicest people I've ever come across in the game. Bob Riley is just first cabin.
And I believe that's the Kenny Bernstein philosophy. He's so upscale. He has Indy cars now, funny cars, NASCARs. He has all this stuff, and he's rich. The man is rich. He owns stores and stuff and has money other than he makes off his race cars. He's got one of the best-looking women I've ever seen. I wouldn't want to go public with that, but he has done well in that area, too.
Now, there's his car now running up in the second position. Ricky Rudd in car number 26, the Kenny Bernstein wheels. And Rudd has a lot of making up to do, however, if he intends to catch. He's almost a full straightaway behind car number 28, Davey Allison, who is dominating the event at this point. We asked Ricky Rudd who gets the advantage, who has the advantage at Richmond.
think you're going to see an exciting race, and I wouldn't dare try to pick a favorite here. I think I have to say, other than the Quaker State Buick and Ricky Rudd, it'd be in a favorite. But besides that, it'd be hard to pick a favorite. It's going to be a good race. I think there's going to be a lot of lead changes. As far as a dominant car right now, it'd be hard to pick it.
Right now, he is in second place, and he is showing a lot of staying power. Chevrolet has won this race time and time again, 8 times to be exact, the last 4 in a row. Ford has won it on 3 occasions. They won it 3 times in a row, 79, 80, and 81, when it was Bobby Allison those first 2 years, and then Benny Parsons won a race for Ford in 1981. Back in the good old days, Plymouth and Dodge each won 4 times, including the first Dodge win by one Robert Allison from over in Hueytown, Alabama. Here's Davey Allison continuing to show the way by better than 4 seconds now, and Phil Parsons is pitting car number 55. He had been running in 9th, and Phil is on pit road in the Crown Petroleum car. That'll slide him back in the standings. But Davey Allison is just demolishing this field. It's got to be demoralizing to think you're really going strong to see him just pull up and wave and go by.
Well, I think we're getting close to normal pit stops, and I think you'll see all the cars starting to come in pretty soon, so maybe Phil Parsons won't get hurt too bad by that stop.
Showing 188 laps complete, nosing down, and now, for the first time, we're beginning to see the 28 car looking like it may be in a scramble on tires.
Yeah, and he's right beside of Bodine, and Jeff, you saw him just surge by. Jeff got new tires just a few minutes ago, and Davey's still out on the old tires, so Jeff should be able to pull away from him, but Davey's hanging real tight.
Davey Allison looking for his second win of the season, won the first one in Michigan, and he has 30 Winston Cup victories to his credit thus far, and 3 poles in 88. And that 351 Ford is pulling him along in the lead at the present time. Car number 55, Parsons pitted for 17 and 4/10 seconds, and he lost 2 laps before he was able to get back on the track.
And how fast is that engine pulling Davey Allison? Oh, look at this. Dale Earnhardt coming on pit road there, and that's going to be a major story. Earnhardt probably making the stop in order to change the setup on the car, going for a different set of tires. Remember, he had the stagger problem that his crew chief and car owner, Richard Childress, alluded to, and as we watch them come in, they will definitely be going to work on that. Let's go down trackside to Bob Varsho.
Here's Richard Childress takes a look underneath the race car. Kirk Shelberdine and the crew working on the right side. Those are the tires they'll change first. And they're only going to send him out with 2 tires. Evidently, they feel like 2 were all they needed to conquer that stagger problem.
Let's pick up that story now in terms of the leader in Davey Allison, how fast he's getting around this racetrack as we watch Earnhardt stomp back into contention. Last lap on the Timex speed track, we had Davey at 24:14. We programmed this with a new track length, that being 3/4 of a mile, and that tells us he's running 111.85. Dale Earnhardt still has the fastest lap of the race. That was a 23:48 early on, and that works out to just a tick of the watch under 115 miles an hour. So the race pace has fallen, and Earnhardt is in contention to get his crew all new Timex speed track computers if that fastest lap of the race holds up. Right now, the story is definitely Davey Allison leading the Richmond 400. It's live on TBS Sports, and we'll be back with more right after this timeout.
Here's Jerry Garrett.
Looking at a routine stop down here. 2 right side tires again. 2 tanks of gas. Davey Allison back down in less than 15 seconds. Bill Elliott was in here just a few minutes ago, and before him, Alan Kulwicki. They all took on right side tires. No other problems. We expect to see all the rest of the leaders. Terry Labonte in here real soon.
15-second stop. He's just getting to speed, and he's almost being overlapped by the leader, number 26, Ricky Rudd. Rudd is now pitting, and that gives a little bit of breathing room to Allison as all the leaders are now coming on pit road. Terry Labonte's number 11 has yet to pit, and Darrell Waltrip's number 17. Here's 26. Briefly held the lead for a lap. Ricky Rudd on pit road. Looks like a routine stop. Ooh, we're halfway down. That began to take a little time toward the end on car number 26.
Those pit stops will kill you. I tell you, it's that's where 3 or 4 seconds can be gained in a pit stop, and boy, it translates on the racetrack in hundreds of yards.
17 and a half in there on car number 26. Here's number 11, Terry Labonte ready to pit. Does not come in, stays out.